So I've had my Nintendo Switch since the end of 2017, and since then I've amassed so many games, so many accessories, and that's what I want to talk about today. I kind of joked about doing a Nintendo Switch collection video at the end of my last video, but I realized that in order to have the context for some of the other videos I want to do coming up soon, it would be a nice idea for you all to know what I have in my collection, what I'm working for, my thoughts on some things, etc. So I figured let's go ahead and do a Switch collection video now. Very excited. These are some of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube. They're absolutely a guilty pleasure, so I'm excited to be doing my own. But before we get onto the video, I just want to give a huge thank you to everybody. The response to my first video it surpassed any expectations I ever had for it. So I'm really, really grateful. Thank you for all the subscriptions, for all the comments, just all the support. Thank you. Okay, so throughout this video, we're gonna go through my console, all my Joy-Cons and controllers, some accessories, and then the game collection, which is going to be the biggest part of this video. So I'm gonna go through some of the accessories a little bit quickly, just so that way this isn't a 2-hour long video. So first up, of course, I would not be able to play all of the games I'm gonna show you later without the console. And this is my Switch. I've had this Switch since 2017, December of 2017, so a few months after it released. It is my pride and joy. I love it very, very much. And it is one of my favorite game systems of all times. I've been able to have so many good memories on it and play so many fun games that it really is one of my favorite systems. It's also the system that I've been able to buy a lot of my own games for. Many of my childhood systems, obviously I didn't have money, for I was a child, so I wasn't really buying my own games. But with the Switch, now that I'm an adult, I've been able to really, really personally grow my collection, which has been incredible, so I love the Switch. And on my Switch, as you might have noticed, I had these two Joy-Cons, a red and a blue one. These were not my original Joy-Cons, we'll get to those in a second, but I have these on because, in case you can't notice the thumb grips, got some Pokeballs on there to kind of match what game I might be playing a lot of right now, wink wink. The Joy-Cons my Switch actually came with were the gray ones, which I still think is a very, very classy look. And I have some Splatoon thumb grips on them. For probably the Joy-Cons I use the most because they mean a lot to me and they're very just cute, are my little custom ones. So they are reminiscent of the Animal Crossing colors. The green is a little brighter, but they're really, really close. They even have the white backs. But in case you couldn't tell, there are white buttons, which I think is so cute. The joysticks are also white, however, they're obviously covered up by Totoro right now, so. But yeah, these are my absolute favorite to use. They're just so special. And yeah, I love them a lot. I love them a lot. They're my super aesthetic Joy-Cons, so I use them often. And so now in terms of other controllers that aren't Joy-Cons, I only have one, and that is the Switch Pro controller. It's one of my favorite controllers of all time, actually. It's very comfortable to use. The battery life is actually really, really nice, especially with how much I use this controller. Getting this controller honestly really upgraded how I was playing things. So I actually have wrist problems, so playing with the Joy-Cons isn't always the best. This is a lot more ergonomic. There's still some problems where I end up bending my wrist too much or like from overuse, but it's a significantly better alternative to the Joy-Con grip. This was the main way that I used my Joy-Cons most of the time when my Switch was docked, because I like having them together. Sometimes it is really nice to just kind of lounge with either Joy-Con in either hand, but the Joy-Con grip comes with the Switch. It's fine. It's fine. It's not my favorite. Again, it's not the best thing for my hands, but I still appreciate that we had that option when we got the Switch. I think it really, really helps for those looking for a more traditional controller experience without shelling out the $80 for the Pro controller right away. So now we have a bit of a weird one, which this goes to a very specific game. We're getting into some of the more specific accessories now. You can probably already see it because I'm squishing it because it's super fun. And this is the ring card. We'll get to the game that this is associated with later, but it's very fun to squish. So how it works is you slide a Joy-Con in there and it comes attached with a leg strap, which I'll get to in a second, and you can use it for exercise things, but it's very comfy. The grips are very nice. And it's very sturdy. Mine has worn down a little bit from overuse, but not so much that there's not some resistance to it. I have heard some people's have worn down over time, but mine is still in pretty good shape. To go with the ring con, as I said, there is a leg strap for your Joy-Con. I actually have two of these, one that came with the game that the Ring-Con did, and then I got another one with another game. So how this works is you slide your Joy-Con right in there, and then you take this and wrap it around your leg, adjust it to wherever it needs to be, and there you go. You have a Joy-Con on your leg now for whatever you need. Another weird and interesting Nintendo accessory, but very necessary for some games. So here are some other interesting grips. For a little bit of a backstory for some accessories coming forward, last year for Christmas, I got a very large Orsley accessory pack with a number of different extra grips, random little accessories like a stylus and a pen, and some headphones. I'm not gonna be showing those, but I am gonna be showing some of the bigger stuff that I've actually used from that pack. So in that pack came with some alternative Joy-Con grips, such as this one. So it's for a single Joy-Con. You just snap it on in there, and then you have a little controller. I feel like this would be really great for Mario Kart or Mario Party, depending on what one you're playing. Anything that involves you being on one Joy-Con and somebody else being on the other one. I did get two of these, but I only grabbed one. So something that's even better for Mario Kart, which is very reminiscent if you were a fan of the Wii Mario Kart game, is a little tiny Joy-Con wheel. I never use this. I never ever use it, but I'm glad it exists because it's very nostalgic. Slap your Joy-Con in there, you've got a wheel for Mario Kart. I never play using tilt controls anyways anymore, so I don't really use that, but it's fun to have. It's very, very fun to have. Moving on to some other things involving controllers. So as you saw on some of my Joy-Cons, I do have some cute thumb grips. I have one other pair of really cute ones. I'm not gonna show my more mundane ones, mostly because I don't know where they are, but I have these little no faces. They're really cute. They came with the Totoro ones. Probably gonna put these on my gray Joy-Cons soon, but I'm not sure when. But they're very cute. So out of that Orsley pack, this is probably the accessory that I use the most, and it's a Joy-Con and Pro Controller charger. So how this works is you slide a Joy-Con right in here like this, just like that. You have a slot on either side, so you can fit up to 4 Joy-Cons at a time, or you could do 2 Joy-Cons on one side, a Pro Controller on the other. I usually never charge my Pro Controller on this, but it's really nice for keeping my spare Joy-Cons on. And these little clear things in the center light up. So if it's red, you know that your Joy-Con is charging. If it's green, you know it's fully charged and ready to go. So very, very handy. I just keep it under my PC and just store my extra Joy-Cons there. So now let's get into some cases. So I have 2 main cases that I use. One is a smaller case, one is a much bigger case. So let's start with the small one. This also came in the Orsley pack. I had another case before this, but it was really good, but it broke. So this is the smaller case that I have. It's just a plain black Orsley case. It's kind of a hard shell, but if you squeeze it, there's not a lot of resistance. It's not the most protective thing, but it is what I have. So you have a little pocket up here. You just put stuff in there. I have my Pro Controller there, and then flap for games right there. Flip it up, and then your Switch goes right in here. I don't like these. I don't like those. My old case that I had was actually Velcro, which felt a lot safer. Those can sometimes get caught on joysticks and just, it probably doesn't help Joy-Con drift. I want to get a new case at some point in time, but this is what I've got right now. And I'm just glad I have something to protect my Switch. If I am going over someplace where I have to bring my dock and a whole bunch of accessories, I bring out the big boy, which is this one. This is the Evolver massive case. I don't know the official name of it, but it's pretty cool. You can see all my games there. It's got a nice big compartment so you can put your dock, Pro Controller. I put cords in these extra ones, and then your Switch goes right in there, and it'll fit a pair of Joy-Cons too. I really like this case. I've had it, this is probably my oldest surviving case that I have. I've had it for probably 4 years, and it's really nice. Very protective, very, very, very protective. It's my go-to travel case if I'm going somewhere where I know I'm gonna need my dock. And it's also kind of my main storage for my Switch too. Like if my dock and my Switch aren't out and about, they're usually in that case. So for more protective accessories, I have this grip case. I don't really use it despite the fact that I do like the grips on the back. It's a weird kind of soft plastic, so I don't really use it all that much. All right, and now protection for the screen. Of course, Orsley screen protectors. These are really, really nice. I think most people I know have Orsley screen protectors. I've had no problems with mine. Mine still looks great. I wish I would have put a screen protector on my Switch a lot sooner because there are definitely some deep scratches on my screen that I wish were gone. But since putting that on, I haven't had any problems. There are plenty of screen protectors, but I really do like the Orsley one. I haven't had any problems with it. Last two accessories are game protection. So you might have seen some of my games in my big case, but I have a lot more games than that, so they need to be protected. So I just have two plain game cases. This one is entirely filled. This one is about to be. So these are really helpful, especially if you just want to organize some of your games, slip one of these into your bag or something and take it with you on a trip. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, is getting one specifically for travel, so that way I don't just have to rely on all of those games being in the case, especially if I want to take more than a case allows. So these are really, really helpful. All right, so that's it for accessories, and now we're getting into the big stuff, all of my games. So I'm actually gonna start with my digital only games. I'm primarily a physical collector. I just love having the cases. I've always been that way, but I do have a few digital games just because some games you can't get physically, or you can't get them easily physically. So for my digital games, I have The Artful Escape, Arcadia Fallen, Stardew Valley, the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy, which I am a newcomer to the Phoenix Wright series, but I really love those games and I'm so happy they're on Switch. Garden Story, Deltarune Chapters 1 and 2, Puyo Puyo Tetris, which truly was one of my favorite games that I played in the early Switch days. I didn't have many games, but Puyo Puyo Tetris was, I think, game number 2 or 3, and I played it with my college roommates all the time. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, Gato Roboto, Cattails, Calico, Cat Quest. I have a lot of cat games. For those of you who watch my Twitch streams and were there back in the day, you know why I have all those cat games. Someday I'll explain, but... And then Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, which was an exclusive for Fire Emblem's 35th anniversary. You can't get it anymore, and I haven't played it yet, but I'm hoping to someday soon. So that's it for digital. Let's get into the physical. These are in no particular order because quite literally, as I was trying to take a thumbnail for this video, I dropped all of them. So I have no idea what order they're in anymore. Normally I stored my cases alphabetically because it's just the easiest way to go and grab a Switch game, but they're not anymore, so. All right, so first up, just grabbing the game closest to me, we have Neo, The World Ends With You. I love this game. I had never played The World Ends With You before the Switch. It originally the first one came out on the DS, and then there was a remake for the Switch, which I actually don't have. I borrowed from my boyfriend. But the sequel is awesome, really, really underrated. I really loved it. I found the characters were super duper awesome. The gameplay was really fun. The story was really cool. So big recommend, underrated gem, very fun. Next, Fire Emblem Three Houses, one of my favorite Switch games of all time. All right, so this is also going to be very exposing of me. If I haven't played a game yet in my collection, the wrap is still on it. So, first game of that is Final Fantasy X and X-2. I've been wanting to play this Final Fantasy game for a long time. I'm a big fan of the older Final Fantasy games. The highest number of Final Fantasy game I got to was 7, and then I just didn't play after that because they weren't on Nintendo systems. So I'm really, really excited to play 10 and 10-2. I know 10 is a big favorite for a lot of people, so I'm really excited. And I love the soundtrack, so this is high on the backlog list. Next, Dragon Quest Builders 2. I have not played this yet either, but my mom was really addicted to it for a while and I watched her play a lot of it. And I got this for my birthday last year, so I'm really excited. I feel like this will be a very good casual game to just kind of jump into and then occasionally get addicted to every now and again. Also in the same vein as Dragon Quest, one of my favorite RPGs on the Switch, and it was one of my big games last year, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age, the definitive edition. I love this game. It is a fantastic RPG. It's beautiful. This was my first entry into the Dragon Quest series, and I am just taken away by it. I love it. I love it, and I cannot wait for Dragon Quest XII, which I guess is going to be an even darker game. So this game is great, though. Big recommend. All right, next random pick out of the pile is Astral Chain, another extremely underrated game on the Switch. More people need to play this game. I was recommending this game to a lot of people. I actually forgot about it when I was making my last video, but I would recommend it. I think it's a great action game. The world is super cool. Combat is super fun, very fluid. This is a great game. This is a great game. Really, please play Astral Chain. And maybe someday we'll get a sequel because this game was great. All right, now this is one of my favorite games that came out this year. guess what? It's another RPG. It's Triangle Strategy. I adore this game. It has the same kind of HD 2D art style like something like Octopath has, but instead it's a strategy RPG. Beautiful story, beautiful world, beautiful everything. One of my top games of 2022. I'm not gonna talk too much about why because I might do a video on that. So next is a game that I played a lot of on the Wii U, didn't finish it, and played a lot of on the Switch and didn't finish it. Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Hashtag FE Encore. So this is a port of the Wii U game with a few extra things. Another very fun, very cheesy RPG that combines some Fire Emblem characters with some Shin Megami Tensei elements. I love this game. I haven't finished it on either system, so you know what? That's my fault. All right, so this is my only Japanese box in the collection. It plays in English on the Switch, so that's not any issue, but that is the Klonoa Dream Reverie Collection. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember, but I'm also very new to Klonoa. Played the first one of the collection, have not played the second one yet, but if you don't know who Klonoa is, research this little guy. He's fantastic. I love him. Maybe one of my favorite video game mascots of all time. Very fun platformer, very challenging, but the collection offers an easier option to be able to play through the game. But no, I loved Klonoa. I screamed my head off during Klonoa and then I cried because the end was sad. Great game. I have a lot of Pokemon games in this collection. They're all scattered about the place, but I'm grabbing this one first, and it is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Brilliant Disappointment. So I love 4th gen Pokemon, I really do. I was so excited for the 4th gen remakes. This was not what I had hoped and dreamed of. Am I happy that I got to re-experience Gen 4 again? Sure. Am I gonna replay this? No, I'm gonna go replay Platinum, but it's here. All right, now for a great Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I already talked about this in my last video, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Regardless of Scarlet and Violet being out, as of right now, this is still my favorite Pokemon game on the Switch. Keep that in mind. Here's one of my favorite Pokemon spin-offs on the Switch though. Pokemon Snap, or new Pokemon Snap. I'm sorry. This game is gorgeous. I played this on stream. I almost cried because of how cute so many things in the game were. This is a great return to the Pokemon Snap series, in my opinion. I loved the original N64 one, but this was a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous game. Another Pokemon game, because I guess the Pokemon pile is what fell over right next to me. And this is another one of the more straightforward Pokemon games on the Switch, but I think it's a little bit better. Also very good for newcomers to the series. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Look at Eevee. Eevee's one of my favorite Pokemon, so I love Eevee. This was a great little game. I really loved the catching mechanics. I loved the Pokemon Go integration. I just thought it was really cute. It's Pokemon, it's cute. You know, that's all there is to it. And it's got Eevee. That's the most important part. So this is a game that I was really excited for this year and kind of ended up being a little disappointed. I still had fun with it, but that is Nintendo Switch Sports. I was a big, just advocate for this game. This is one of the games that came with the leg strap for the Joy-Con so you could play soccer. I wish there were more sports. I know golf is coming very, very soon. I think within the next 2 weeks or so. But it didn't hold my attention like the original Wii Sports did. It didn't hit that nostalgia vein like I really wanted it to. So a fine game, a little bit of a regret. Bowling was fun. All right, now another classic, Super Mario Odyssey. Another Pokemon spin-off, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. I started this game on stream and unfortunately I never finished it. I love the Rescue Team games. I couldn't get into this one. I really couldn't get into it. It's super cute. I hope to finish it again someday, but yeah, I just couldn't get into it. But it's super cute. It's so cute. All right, another one for the backlog that hasn't been open that I might have had for a few years now is the Trials of Mana. Whoops. But I'm excited for it. I've never played this game before. This was actually the first, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this was the first time this game was ever actually officially localized, which is pretty cool, which is pretty darn cool. I just haven't played it yet. All right. This is probably one of the saddest parts of my backlog because I was really excited for this game. and I just haven't had the time because, in case you haven't noticed, I have a lot of JRPGs. And that's Shin Megami Tensei 5. I've never played an SMT game before. I'm really excited. I heard this game was fantastic. So I got it for Christmas last year, and it just kind of fell behind some of the other 2022 releases, but soon. Also very high on the backlog. Probably like number 2 or 3 if I'm being honest. So it'll still take a while based on what's number 1 in my backlog. But you know what? I'll get there someday. All right, another Wii U port. We've got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Another winner for 2022, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now, big game from my childhood brought to the Switch in a new life. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town. And now for a game that's a part of one of my favorite series, but is not one of my favorite members of that series. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. I have a lot of thoughts on this game that I'll talk about maybe someday if I do an exclusively Zelda video. Skyward Sword is not my favorite. Gorgeous soundtrack. I like the art. I love Groose. But I have a lot of problems with it. And the Switch version, though it helped, there were a lot of quality of life updates in this version of the game, it wasn't enough to make me finish it on the Switch, because I was like, I don't want to replay Skyward Sword all the way through again. Maybe someday. I would like to finish it on the Switch, so that way I can just say that I finished it on the Wii and on the Switch, but we'll see. We'll see. Another one for the JRPG backlog pit, Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition. I could not remember the subtitle for it. I'm super excited to have this physically. I think it's awesome. This was actually gotten for me by one of the members of my Twitch community, so thank you very much for this. Truly gorgeous, truly wonderful. Very excited to play Chrono Cross. All right, and now the mystery game. It probably wasn't really a mystery game, but the game that goes with the Ring Con is Ring Fit Adventure, which probably was one of the games that I played the most regularly at the beginning of 2022. I should get back to it. This game will kick your butt. This game will kick your butt, and I love it. I love it. It's an exercise RPG, and it's really fun. It's really, really, really fun. I'm hoping once my life kind of calms down a little bit, I can start taking time to get back into it, because I felt really good playing this game. It really did feel like a full workout. Next, Paper Mario and the Origami King. Great little game. Not one of the best Paper Marios, but I really loved my time with it. Another one returning from the video last time, Octopath Traveler. Still haven't finished it since then. Uh-oh. Mario Party Superstars. Fantastic Mario Party game. And then we have Super Mario Party, a not fantastic Mario Party game. All right, another JRPG pickup this year. Still also wrapped up, but something I'm really excited to have. The Legend of Mana. This game just got remade for the Switch. Not remade, but it got ported to the Switch. Super excited to have the physical version of this as well. Got it from Play Asia. I love the art in this box. I think it's fantastic. I love the music of The Legend of Mana, but I've never played it. So this was one of, when they announced this at a Nintendo Direct, I freaked out a little bit. I was so excited. I was so excited. So also very high up on the backlog list. Maybe I should do a video about all of my backlog games and why backlogs are difficult to work through. Let me know if you want to see that. Next, we have Layton's Mystery Journey, Catriel and the Millionaires Conspiracy Deluxe Edition. Very fun game. I miss the magic of the old Professor Layton games, but it's nice to have some Layton representation on the Switch. Next, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake. Again, super cute game. And now, this is a game that was originally going to be in the last video, but I cut it for time purposes, and I felt like I didn't say a whole lot about it. But you know what? You'll love it. The savior of 2020, Animal Crossing New Horizons. I put a lot of time into this game. I love this game. Have I been playing it recently? No, I tried, but I do still love New Horizons. I think it's a stellar game. Stellar game, and I wish I could have fit into the last video, but I didn't have enough time. All right, now this is a game I'm playing on Twitch currently. By the time this video comes out, I might be done with it, but there's been so many twists and turns that I might not be. That's Live Alive, another extremely underrated game. I'm so happy this got nominated for Best RPG at the Game Awards just to get its name out there, because I had never heard of this game until like maybe a year ago, and then they announced that it was coming to the Switch, that they were remaking it, again, HD 2D art style, and it is a fantastic, fantastic game. Oh my gosh, everybody needs to play this game. Just everybody needs to play this game. It's so good. Even if you're not a big fan of RPGs, it's a very short RPG. Play it. It's great. For spooky times, Luigi's Mansion 3. Now, this is a game that I actually know everything about, but I haven't played it. Probably one of the quote-unquote rarest things in my collection, but maybe not. It was really hard to get when I got it, and that's AI Somnium Files. I love the art style in this game. I love how it looks. The voice acting is fantastic. It's so great to have a point-and-click mystery game that's also super gritty. I love it, and I want the sequel so bad. The Nirvana Initiative came out, I believe, this summer. I want it really bad. I want it really bad. So this is unopened. I'm gonna open it at some point in time. I know I will, but this is one of the prizes of my collection because it took forever to get. So love that game. Now we do have a full trio of games here in some semblance of an order. First up is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, one of my favorite games of all time. I played the original when it came out on the Wii, did not play the 3DS version because I don't have a new 3DS, and then the definitive version, which is just, it's glorious. I love Xenoblade Chronicles, I love this series, but this is just one of my favorite games of all time. And now, not to make some people upset, but here we have a game that I don't like as much, and that's Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I have not finished this game, and I'm really sorry about that. I got so upset at the beginning of this game. There were a lot of things that I did not enjoy. There were some things that I did enjoy right away, but there was a lot of things I did not enjoy. I want to give it another shot. I want to give it another shot really, really badly, but I just couldn't. I really was not a fan of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And now to complete the trio, and this is the #1 game on my backlog that I've been referring to, is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. See, I have all of them except Torna. I gotta get Torna at some point in time. But yeah, this was probably one of my most anticipated games of 2022, but in my quest to finish Octopath, as well as Pokemon being out now, this has taken a little bit of a backseat to some of the other games I've been playing. I'm really hoping to at least start it by the end of 2022, but I'm really excited. I've heard fantastic things about this game, so coming soon. Now another Switch classic, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Next is a game that I debated putting in my last video, but didn't end up doing that just because I don't know. And that's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I love Smash, I don't play it a whole lot, and I'm not very good at it, but Smash Ultimate really is the ultimate Smash game. Very, very fun. All right, next, it's another multiplayer game, one that was a little bit disappointing. It's still fun, but just not what I wanted it to be, and that's WarioWare Get It Together. Very fun story. I played the story all on stream in 4 hours, and that was about it. It's a fun game to play with friends, but I just wish there were even more multiplayer modes where it was just going through the mini games where you could play with 4 people. There's one that is really fun that's like a duel, but that's basically it. Very fun, just I wish there was more. Now we're to my last unopened game, and that is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, another game that one of my Twitch community members got me, so thank you. I have been waiting on this one because I want to finish the Phoenix Wright trilogy that I have digitally. This is a prequel, but I want to have the context of the first trilogy and then play this one. I don't know if I'm gonna end up being able to play the second trilogy. I think there's 3 more after that. I can't really remember, but hopefully someday. But I think after I finish the original trilogy, I'll go straight to this one and then go back and do the other 3, just because this has been sitting on my shelf waiting to be played. So next is Mario Golf Super Rush, a game that, again, I was really excited for, and it fell a little bit flat for me. I played through the story. The story was actually really fun. I thought it was really funny that I was going on a quest to be the greatest golfer of all time. I never played this game with other people though, which is like the main point of, I feel, Mario sports games, and I just never did because nobody ever really had any interest. Not the same kind of magic that Toadstool Tour on the GameCube had, but it's Mario Golf. And of course, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, new DLC coming super soon. Hooray! Next, one of the 2 Warriors games that I have on Switch, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I adored this game. I loved the extra lore that we got throughout it, because that was one of the biggest things that I thought Breath of the Wild was lacking, was actual like direct lore about the world. So this filled in a lot of gaps. It was also just fun fun. I really do like Muso games. I just feel very powerful whenever I play them, so they're very, very fun. But yeah, I thought Age of Calamity was awesome. Also, all of the remixed Breath of the Wild music was very intense and very cool, so bonus points for that. And the next Warriors game, which came out this year, is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Again, the perfect little follow-up to one of my favorite games. I have not played all of the routes in this game. There are 3 routes in this game, like there are in 3 Houses. I've only played one, the Blue Lions, but still really fun. I hope to go back and play the other routes sometime soon. A bit of a controversial game, I guess, due to its limited release window, but we have Super Mario 3D All-Stars, the nice little 3-pack collection of Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy. Sunshine is my favorite, Galaxy's a close second. Don't talk to me about Mario 64. I know, that might upset some people. It's a great game and it was revolutionary. I'm bad at it. I'm bad at it, you know? So there you go. But happy to have those games on Switch. Next, one of the more recent games that has been a blast, I've been enjoying picking up every so often, is Splatoon 3. And the last 2, both are Pokemon games. So first I have Pokemon Sword. It was an experience. I had a lot of fun with Gen 8. I did. Not because the games looked great, had great stories, or functioned well. Pokemon Sword and Shield were actually games that I played a lot with friends, which I hadn't experienced with in a Pokemon game since Diamond and Pearl. So it was really, really nice to just get a bunch of friends together, play some Pokemon, go do max raid battles. Is very, very cool. Even though it's not my favorite Pokemon game, and definitely not my favorite Pokemon game on the Switch, I still appreciated my time with Pokemon Sword. And finally, my latest pickup, in case you can guess it, Pokemon Violet, which blows Pokemon Sword out of the water. Despite its extreme glitchiness, I am having a blast with this game. I really, really am. I wish it would have taken some more elements from Arceus, but they were in development at the same time, so they couldn't really do that. But I really love the open world. It feels just right. It feels right. I love all of the new Pokemon. They're really, really fun. And I am really enjoying how the game is presented. Now, only it could look better, then we'd have a winner, but I'm really enjoying Pokemon Violet. I really, really, really am. Probably gonna play it after this video. Oh my gosh, we made it through. I can't believe it. We finally did it. I don't even know how many Switch games that was. I'm gonna have to count them as I put them back on my shelf, but I hope you all enjoyed that. It was really fun to kind of go through the collection and show you all what I have. I also hope this doesn't come off as bragging. I really just love sharing this kind of stuff and comparing like my collection to other people's collections. I also hope that maybe by showing off some more games and some accessories, maybe you found something that you want to pick up yourself. Maybe you need a new case, or maybe you have been thinking about getting Live Alive and this sealed the deal. I really hope it does. But anyways, that's all for me for now. Again, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you are interested in seeing more fun Nintendo Switch, Nintendo random content, consider dropping a subscription, a like, and maybe comment down below what you have in your collection, some of your highlights, if there's anything that you'd like to see in my collection, because I only hope to grow this collection. Despite having a lot of games and despite having a lot in my backlog, I really want more Switch games, so let me know in the comments down below. But that's all for me this time, so I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye! Goodbye!